Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is Chase Marks and welcome to my channel. Today's ramble is actually going to be a little dense. I just want to make a little warning that you are about to learn a lot about me, including things that I've experienced in my 22 years of living, many of which came later in life when I was, a cognizant human being. But with that being said, I do need to provide some trigger warnings at the beginning of this video. Due to the content of this video, which you probably saw in the title, I'm talking about gender dysphoria today, specifically my own gender dysphoria. With that being said, things that I will be covering. I will be talking about my chest. I will be talking about some obsessive behaviors that I had when I was younger. I will be talking about binding. I will be talking about underwear. I will be talking about being misgendered, self-doubts. I'm sure there are 1,000 other things that will be covered in this topic that are possibly trigger warnings. So with all of that being said, just take that with, in the back of your mind while you're watching this video. If anything does come up while I'm editing, I will be sure to put a little notice at the bottom down here on the screen to just, put out there that there might be something coming up that some people might want to skip. The actual definition of gender dysphoria is to feel as one's identity, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, is different or the opposite of what they were assigned with at birth or what their sex is, male or female. And a lot of people who do not identify with the gender that they were assigned to at birth have gender dysphoria. So for this video, I want to talk specifically about my experience with gender dysphoria, what gender dysphoria has looked like for me when I started to experience it, and basically what my entire journey has been like up to the moment of today, which I'm recording this video on May 24th. Yes, May 24th is the day, and I've been experiencing gender dysphoria subconsciously since I was 14 years old, so about 8 years ago, because I'm 22 now. And I consciously have been experiencing gender dysphoria for about a year to 2 years, where I started being like, oh my gosh, why am I feeling this? I'm really uncomfortable feeling, and what does that even mean? Really, I didn't even name my uncomfortable feelings gender dysphoria until about 8 months ago when I moved to Connecticut, and yeah, it's been a whirlwind for sure. So let's take it on back to when I was 14 years old. I started my period when I was roughly 13, 14, freshman year of high school pretty much. I was really late bloomer. And I should also mention that I clearly am AFAB, assigned female at birth. I have female reproductive organs, which then caused me to have my period because, reproductive organs and hormones. I'm sorry, it's really awkward to talk about my period and also my body on video, and I'm still getting used to this, so bear with me please. When I moved to Indiana, I got this really weird obsession with my chest developing, hence puberty has hit and now I'm getting boobs. And it was really weird because I know a lot of kids start to get breasts at a young age, or as they hit puberty and suddenly they're getting these extreme growths. Well, mine was not very fast. I just started getting this growth consistently, but it wasn't like I was going from a sports bra to a D size cup. I was, an A and then slightly a B, and then by the time my senior year of high school hit, I was a firm B. And in between my sophomore and senior year of high school, I somehow one day just got extremely upset about my breasts developing, and I was doing workouts, chest workouts, in order to flatten my chest. And at this time, I was like, I'm a woman, you know, I'm a girl, but like, man, these things need to be small. Like, and so I started doing these like obsessive workouts. I was doing chest day like every single day. And cognitively, I was like, yeah, if I work out, I won't have saggy breasts. Like, what 16-year-old has saggy breasts? Like, please. And, you know, I just kept telling myself, yep, I gotta hit the gym today because I'm 116 pounds and I'm not gonna have saggy breasts. Woo! Like, and I just kept working out. I just kept bench pressing pretty much every single day. And then I got to college, I got my first girlfriend, and you know, I was still really weird about my chest. So I started wearing baggier shirts and men's clothing, and I was like, whoa, like, I'm just a dyke pretty much. And I identified that way, and you know, I was just a woman who liked to be more masculine. And there was just like subtle things that were going on. Like, I started wearing sports bras instead of bras with underwires and no padding. And I, you know, cut my hair really short and started wearing baggier clothing and just was really like dismissing myself from like femininity. But right now I'm gonna talk mostly about So I started wearing sports bras instead of regular bras, and then I started wearing 2 sports bras, and then I was wearing really tight sports bras that like would rip when I would put them on. Like, oh my gosh, I had this one sports bra that I wore every single day for a very long time from Victoria's Secret. It was an extra small, and I am not an extra small person, especially not Victoria's Secret extra small. And that thing, like, I would have to like wiggle it on, like put an arm through and like yank it down and then like somehow weasel my other arm up into it. And I would get it on and it would literally like flatten me so much that I was like having trouble breathing. And oh my gosh, that thing, it was so hard to get off. It would rip. It would actually, like, I could hear the seams tearing when I would take it off and put it on, and that is how tight it was. And for some reason I was like, yep, I just wear this one because it's the most comfortable, and like, you know, it's Victoria's Secret and I look so good. Like, I don't know why I was doing that to myself. But you know, later down the line, I'm like, oh wait, it all makes sense now. Because at the time, none of this made sense. Anyways, for like 3 years, I was wearing this one sports bra that was like way too tight, or I was wearing 2 sports bras and just a lot of baggy clothes and everything. And basically just kind of avoided like thinking about my breasts. So I moved to Connecticut and I decided to move forward and get a binder. The moment well, first off, I expedited that stuff. I had it shipped like overnight, basically. It cost so much money, but I did it. And the moment I put that binder on, I was like, I'm not a girl. There's no way I am a girl. That is insane. And I literally was like, I'm never taking this binder off ever again. And I mean, I don't wear my binder every day because it's really bad for you, and I'm trying to, like, you know, be better with my health. But like, it was almost like the moment I put that binder on, I was like, this is almost what I'm supposed to look like, because my chest is decently sized. My binder doesn't make me completely flat, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm one step closer to how my body is supposed to look. This is amazing. And I just kind of formed this like love relationship with my binder. And you know, that's what I needed. I needed that because I was having extreme gender dysphoria, and it wasn't until I ordered this binder and put it on that I was like, whoa, like, I'm not a girl, and all of these weird feelings I've been having since I started puberty like make sense now. Which was really empowering and also very terrifying, because now I had to like go into this world, like this new place that I just moved to, and be like, who am I? Like, what am I? I had no idea. Thankfully, I've had friends and partners who were non-binary, and I had a little bit of answers about what on earth to call myself at that point in time. So there's the extent of like my background before realizing that I was non-binary and, you know, starting to help myself with my gender dysphoria. Really the only gender dysphoria I had prior to moving to Connecticut and coming out about being non-binary was my clothing and my chest. Like, I was seeing a therapist for a long time whom I talked to often about feeling uncomfortable with my clothing and with like the way I dress, like having, like giving me away. Like, I hated it when people saw me and were like, oh, that's a girl, like based on my clothing. And so I dressed more masculine. Like, I wanted to have like very androgynous, like gender neutral clothing, because like my dream is for people to have to not like know what my gender is. Like, they kind of look at me and are like, I don't know if that's a boy or girl, because like the thing is I'm neither, but society doesn't understand that that's actually a thing. Like, society has two boxes: you're either a boy or you're a girl, and I don't really fit in either of those. So the ideal is to have people be like looking at me and questioning like, which box do they go in? And then I'm like, yes, I don't go in either. Woo! Like, and so I started to try to wear like more androgynous clothing, and it wasn't really working because I have so many giveaways, which sadly I have to call them that, because they give away my like assigned gender, like my breasts, my voice, the way that I look, and like my body shape all gives away this like chromosome that I have, and it sucks. So with the realization of my own gender identity, I have, you know, had other dysphorias come up, like my hair, for example. I've tried to grow my hair out a few times in the past several years, and it seems like every time it gets like really long. I mean, I have it shaved on half, or I have the whole undercut thing, you know. But it seems like every time my hair like grows out like all over and it starts to look more feminine, I get really uncomfortable with myself. And so I keep cutting my hair short because it doesn't give me gender dysphoria. Another thing that I have a lot of gender dysphoria with, or just dysphoria, I don't need to call it gender dysphoria. Another thing that I have dysphoria with is my voice, but specifically in social interactions with others. Like, if I am in a completely queer space and everyone is accepting and uses my correct pronouns, then my voice doesn't bother me. It's when I am on the phone and someone's like, oh hey, Miss Marks, and I'm like, oh my god, that's not me. Don't talk to me like that. Or when I'm like meeting someone for the first time and then they're like talking to someone else about me and they're like, oh yeah, she's so great, and I'm like, why do you assume that I am a girl? Well, it's this voice, like specifically when I'm on the phone with someone new and they're just talking about me or using the wrong pronouns. Something that could help with that is by telling people right away, like, hey, use they them pronouns. But like when you're calling your pharmacy and you're like, hey, I have to get, you know, cold medicine, and they're like, okay, hold on, ma'am, like, am I supposed to call the pharmacy and be like, hey, I need to fill my prescription and I use they them pronouns? Like, that's, I don't know, that seems a little excessive even to me. And they'd probably just be like, okay, ma'am, hold on, like, even though I told them what my pronouns were. So my voice does give me some dysphoria in those kinds of settings. And at home with my friends, with my family, and like with, you know, other queer people, I don't even care. Like, it's just, that's just who I am. That's just me. It's my voice, you know? And I still get, you know, dysphoria with my clothing. Like, I still, I do this weird thing where if I'm wearing like a masculine shirt, I have to wear like feminine pants, because I feel like if I'm too masculine, then I'm like dressing up, and if I'm too feminine, then people are assuming I'm just a girl and I was lying about the whole non-binary thing. So I have to have like a very equal amount of like feminine and masculine things. Like, okay, if I wear like men's pants and a men's shirt, like, yeah, I'll be damned, I'm wearing makeup. Like, I hate makeup and I'll be wearing makeup because of like too much masculinity, gender, it's so awful. Oh, another thing that has actually really helped with my gender dysphoria is my underwear. Like, I used to wear like women's underwear, all the types, you know, you go to Victoria's Secret and there's like 10 different types of underwear, and literally like no one is supposed to see these things except for people you're intimate with or like whomever you want to see it. But for some reason, like, this underwear is like so expensive and so important to like women and everyone that they have to have like 12 different types of underwear in like 1,000 different colors. I just think underwear is such a weird thing. But I went from wearing like Victoria's Secret airy underwear that like cost me an arm and a leg to like, you know, cover parts of my body that are also covered by other clothing. What? To wearing like men's boxer briefs, and I would show you a pair, but they're a little inappropriate. Actually, I'm gonna go grab one. Okay, because I think it might be relevant in this video, I'm just gonna show you what my binder and like what kind of underwear I wear. It might be weird. You can skip forward if you don't want to see. Anyways, so this is the binder that I wear. Like this. I should have got a tank top one because, you know, I have larger breasts, so like they still show. And the tank tops are supposed to help with that. The nice thing is it's stretchy and everything, but it has this really hard fabric right here that like really binds. At the end of this video, I'm gonna talk about why in 2 months I won't have to wear this binder anymore, so I'm super excited to get to that point. But then I also wear like these kinds of underwears. Like, they're not boxers, but they're also not like the briefs that look like girls' underwear, but like for men. But they're boxer briefs. These are like the longer ones. I don't really like to wear the long ones because I wear tight pants. So I also have these smaller ones. And they're like literally like cured a lot of my gender dysphoria. Almost like when I was trying to grow my hair out for a bit, I was like itching, like there was something wrong with me, and I cut my hair and like immediately felt a lot better and wasn't feeling like I was passing as a female. Like the same thing with these underwear. I was feeling super uncomfortable with myself, and then like immediately I bought these underwear and put them on, and I was like, oh, actually that's a lot better. And now I only wear that. So hopefully that wasn't too weird. I just showed you my underwear. Anyways, ways that I deal with my gender dysphoria are a little different. So, you know, I have the binder, I have the underwear, I have the clothing that I mix and match and do all that stuff with. But other things are, you know, I try to correct people on my pronouns or try to make it obvious what my pronouns are. Like specifically at work, I have a pin on my lanyard that says I use they, them pronouns. I have it in all of my email signatures, they, them pronouns, boop, 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 right there. Not everyone follows those things, which is really annoying because I have to then correct people like all of the time on my pronouns. Something that actually helps is just going by my first name. Like, I don't go by Miss Marks or Mix Marks or Mixer Marks or Mr. Marks. I just go by Chase, all like with everybody. With my boss, with the kids that I work with at school, like with my friends and family, I just go by Chase. And that helps a lot. And so I also have to pick my battles. Like, I'm not gonna correct the guy at the Walgreens on my pronouns because like I see him maybe once every, I have, you know, if I'm gonna see you often, I'm gonna tell you my pronouns. My dental hygienist sees me once every 6 months and she knows my pronouns, so that's pretty cool. And, you know, I see doctors who, you know of my identity. I have to tell them they're my doctor. Other than that, like, I'm really just managing my gender dysphoria, like, all the time. On a daily basis, I am constantly thinking about my gender, and I'm constantly avoiding instances where I'm gonna be uncomfortable or I'm dealing with my dysphoria. Hence the binder, hence the underwear, hence the constantly reminding people of my pronouns, because social dysphoria is a thing and it is very awful, especially when you're like avoiding situations where someone could possibly misgender you, which means you're avoiding like everything in life. When you look like me, you know, when someone who's not like a binary trans person, but instead like trans non-binary, obviously, it's really hard because like people look at you and they're automatically like, oh, well, you know, you're a girl because you look like a girl. So like I said earlier, society only has man or woman, and I don't fit into either of those. I'm basically like constantly being misgendered because no one even thinks like, oh, this person might be right in the middle or like off of the spectrum. People automatically are like looking at you and thinking, okay, are you a woman or are you a man? And when you look at me, honestly, like if anybody assumed I was a dude, I don't know. I don't look like a dude. I don't sound like a dude. I don't act like a dude. I'm just not one. So it's really difficult because then if I'm not a dude, I'm obviously a woman, says society. The last thing I want to say during this video is different interventions that I've taken to deal with gender dysphoria or dysphoria in general. I do see a therapist who I talk a lot about gender with and a lot about dysphoria with. You know, I have a very supportive partner that helps a lot. I have supportive friends, like every single one of my friends except for a few are queer and, you know, identify all along the gender spectrum, which is so amazing because like, man, we need a community. I am in a couple of groups on Facebook and an in-person group for non-binary people. So that is also really great. But the last intervention that I'm going to talk about and how I'm going to wrap up this video is I am going to be getting top surgery in 66 days. Oh, I'm so excited, and I will be doing like a pre-top surgery video and obviously like a post-top surgery video down the line where I will talk about, you know, my process of getting to that point and how I like was able to get to the actual point where I'm having top surgery because it was a very difficult process, and you know, some people really need resources like that. I definitely needed resources like that. Like the amount of questions I had pre-consultation was like a super long line. Like you could roll it out like a red carpet. And now I have all those questions answered, and soon I'm gonna have like my biggest problem dealt with, which I'm really, really excited about and could talk about forever. So I'm gonna save all of that for another video. And how I would like to end today's video is just a little motivation. Like, you know, the world may seem like it's against you, but if it was, then you wouldn't be here today, you know? You wouldn't be surviving. You know, you don't have to be like what everyone else thinks you should be like, because here I am non-binary, I'm 22 years old, and I'm breaking the gender standards on a daily basis. And it sucks, and it hurts, and it's very, reluctant, and I'm tired, but you know what? I am also the person that I'm meant to be, and I'm also stronger every day because of it. And so if you are non-binary or you are someone who is experiencing gender dysphoria, there's so many resources out there for you, free and some that aren't free, and you know, there's always someone who is willing to help. And so please reach out. In a few months I will be giving away my binders for free to someone who needs it. So if you you know, happen to wear a what size is this? If you happen to wear a medium binder, which I mean, I'm a 34C, I think, so something along those lines, please send me a message or comment and I will mail this sucker to you the day I'm not wearing it anymore. So I'll even mail it early and not wear it up until my surgery. So send me a message, comment down below. If you have any you know, anything you want to say about your own dysphoria, I would love to have a conversation about it. Literally, my comments down below are open to anybody. If you want to make any comments about this video, or you're just like wanting to tell me to stop rambling so much, I guess I'll take that too. So thank you for listening, and please click like if you want to. I appreciate you. So thank you so much for watching this video, and you are an amazing human being, and I'm so glad that you are here today. So, until next time, see ya.